Hey guys, welcome to my review of Blue Beetle issue number 10. In the last issue of Blue Beetle, we had a crossover issue with Blue Beetle, Kyle Rayner, and the New Guardians. And basically what happened in that issue was Blue Beetle actually just helped Kyle Rayner fight off a bounty hunter that was hired by the Guardians of Oa, to take out all the other Green Lanterns, and the bounty hunter was supposed to take out Kyle Rayner. But of course, Jaime helps him out, and they actually do take out the bounty hunter and capture him, and they send him to his way to DEO, or the Department of Extra Normal Operations. So that's how the issue ends, and Kyle Rayner basically runs off into space to, hear a distress call from the Blue Lanterns, and Blue Beetle's all on his own again. So that's where this issue picks up. We actually open up with Jaime as the Blue Beetle being tortured by Mr. Bones here. He's actually in DEO, and he's basically being tortured, and Mr. Bones is trying to interrogate him, see what's his business on Earth, because they don't know who Blue Beetle is. Ever since he's appeared, they think he's some kind of criminal or a crook or a danger to Earth. So he's torturing him and trying to find more information about the Scarab itself and more about Blue Beetle. That's basically what happens. But then we but we go back in time a few hours later, several hours later, with Jaime roaming the streets of New York City, and he's still struggling to survive because he doesn't have any money, and he has no food to eat. So he's basically it's going to be sort of gross, but he's actually trying to get nutrition from the trash can. So yeah, he's basically rambling through the trash can and trying to suck out all the nutrients and energy out of the scraps of food or other, garbagey stuff in, the garbage. Yeah, so that's what he's trying to do. And basically, he decides to, hey, I remember about the Extra Normal Department of blah, blah, blah. Hey, yeah, Green Lantern trusted them. Maybe they can help me out, because we've all known that Jaime ran to New York City thinking that he's able to find a hero or somebody that might be able to help him understand his powers and use it for good. So Jaime decides to, okay, let's go to the Department of Extra Normal Operations, aka DEO. So he heads over there, and at first they're all alarmed, and they're all like, oh, who are you? And basically all the security guards come out, and Jaime says, okay, I'm the Blue Beetle. I just want to talk to your, your leader, or the person who owns this company. Maybe he can help me out. And they stand down and they say, okay, he wants to see, the leader. So basically they take him down, downstairs, basically, where all the other illegal aliens are held at, because the guy who's in charge of the whole entire DEO department is actually, downstairs. So while Jaime is actually walking down through the cells of the illegal alien department, basically the bounty hunter from the last issue comes out and basically says, hey, what are you doing here? Are you, captured too? Because, hey, you humans should know that the Scarab is a danger to you all. He's here to destroy you. He is the Reach. And all the security guards are like, what? What are you talking about? He's part of the Reach? Oh my god, what is this? What is this? He's a threat to Earth. And they basically take him out. Yeah, I know, that's how they actually react. They get so scared, and they feel threatened, and then they basically knock him out with some sedative gases and basically this other electronic laser beam kind of thing that basically takes out the Scarab for a moment. It takes out the Scarab for a moment, so Jaime can't connect to it, and he knocks out. And that's how he appears in the beginning of this issue, still being interrogated and tortured by Mr. Bones and his scientists, trying to figure out what's behind the Scarab. And of course, Mr. Bones has every good reason to do this, because he doesn't know who Blue Beetle is. He doesn't know who the Reach is. He doesn't know anything about the Scarab. So when the bounty hunter said he could be a threat to Earth, which he is a threat to Earth, because if you have read the old issue, not old issue, but the old series before, you know the Reach is only, here to take over a planet after they actually send a Scarab down to one planet. Basically, afterwards, the Reach would come and destroy or take over the planet. And yes, Jaime is a threat, so yeah, Mr. Bones has a good reason to interrogate him and threaten him and torture him, whatever. And basically, in the end, Mr. Bones does say something interesting. He says that, okay, if, you know, you're here to terrorize the Earth, then I'll let my scientists, you know, basically dissect you and do whatever they want with you, okay? But if there's a human under that suit, you know, if there's a human under that suit, I can change my mind. I'll give you an offer. Maybe you can actually help us out. Use that technology for good, because we've been analyzing you and we've been watching you all this time, ever since you appeared in New York City. So this whole entire time Jaime's been in New York City, Mr. Bones and his whole entire gang has been watching over him. And it's interesting when he says that, okay, if, you know, if there's a human underneath there, maybe we can put you to some good use. Now, would Jaime reveal his identity? Well, I think that's for you guys to find out, because I really don't want to spoil it, because it's really interesting how Jaime takes it. Would he actually trust Mr. Bones like how he trusts Kyle Rayner in the last issue? Or will he deny the fact and actually, you know, basically stay there with Mr. Bones and take all that torture, or would he try to escape? But by the end of this issue, Booster Gold is actually here to actually try to stop and help Blue Beetle out in the end, or try to figure out what's going on. Now, my thoughts on this issue. I think it's actually pretty good. I actually think it was okay. It's not as bad as the last previous issues, because in the last previous issues it was a bit slow and it wasn't really doing that great, and I did have to mention that I was scared because there was some like mix-up with a bit of news saying that, okay, Blue Beetle was about to actually be canceled, but it was basically only for subscribers because they weren't going to produce any more printed copies for subscribers and mailing it to them. They're still going to be printing out Blue Beetle and posting them up on, you know, comic book bookshelves, wherever comic book store sells them at. So they'll still be publishing them, but not to subscribers. So yeah, you're going to have to be picking them up at comic book stores as of after this issue. But what did I have to say is that I'm still scared that this series could be canceled because of what Mr. Bones says in the end. Basically, when he says that, okay, maybe we can put him to good use, there is some type of storyline I can go with Blue Beetle here. You know, there could be a future aspect of Mr. Bones being able to help Jaime later on. Who knows? And I don't think it's going to be coming up in the next 2 issues, because the next 2 issues has to do with Booster Gold and Blue Beetle fighting Blood Beetle yet again. And I don't think Mr. Bones is going to be appearing, maybe against the Blood Beetle, but afterwards, we don't know, because afterwards they're going to have the whole entire 0-issue series going on where all the comic books that have been coming out for the New 52 will get 0 numbers. So yeah, after I've been just so rambling on, should you pick up this issue? Yes, it's a good issue. I find it really enjoyable. I mean, with the fact of Jaime still trying to find help and being interrogated by Mr. Bones, getting offered to maybe do something good with his powers. If there was a human underneath this suit, and will Jaime actually reveal his identity so he can actually help Mr. Bones out, or who knows? There's a lot of, you know, questionable or basically tangent storylines off what's been going on in this issue, which I found enjoyable, and I hope it doesn't get, you know, canceled, and I hope you guys still continue to support this series, because like I said, this series has a lot of potential, and it is sort of showing right now after issue number 9. It's sort of starting to pick up, and this issue does start to, it starts to pick up a bit more, you know. It starts to do a bit better than the previous issues, which is building up to something much more bigger, with Booster Gold coming in, with Blood Beetle coming back, with Jaime's friends coming back, meaning Paco and Brenda are going to come to New York City to help him out. And also with Jaime's grandmother, because basically in this issue, Jaime's parents do contact Jaime's grandmother and tell her that, you know, he's in New York City, and maybe she might come in the storyline later on. Who knows? But a lot of things are actually picking up, doing good here, and I think you guys should totally pick this issue up. Don't pass this Blue Beetle issue up. It's going to be a fantastic storyline. I can tell, because this issue is great, and Booster Gold's going to come in. Blue Beetle and Booster Gold back together again, as it says in the end of this issue. In the next issue, we'll see them together, and it will be nice to see those 2 characters back together again. You know, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold used to be good friends, but that was with Ted Kord. But still, Blue Beetle and, you know, Booster Gold back together again in one series or one issue. Fantastic and awesome. Hopefully you guys like and enjoy this review. I would rate this issue actually a 3 out of 5. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this comic book, and I'll see you guys later. So thanks for watching, guys.